All right, so we're going to talk about Symphony of the Cells today. This is our continuing education class, and I'm intending this to be a little more in-depth than the overview that you might get from going to symphonyofthecells.com. Although I love, love, love the website. In fact, if you go to symphonyofthecells.com, where Boyd Truman has his own, like a 5-minute video kind of introducing the main idea of what Symphony of the Cells is, you're going to get loaded with information. And most often, if you click in, they have like a little, whatchamacallit, like a little spin the wheel raffle ticket kind of a thing going, where you can, get maybe 20% off of your order or some cool little things like that, or get a couple, I think there's a freebie in there for something. Anyway, so I do encourage you guys to go to the website itself and explore around there, get familiar with it. That's also where you're going to find the book. The one that I highly recommend is this one. It's just a thin little one. It only has the protocols in it. It's only like $12.95. So I hope you guys will kind of like make that another priority to go there. But this is intended to give you more information than what you would get in just like a glance. And it's also designed to, if you already have these oils in your home and you're already like finding really nice, easy, like fast fixes for some of your I say like usually like 80% of our issues we can take care of with essential oils. So if you're struggling with that last 20%, with some, say neurological issue or some like real issues with like hormones, for example, or something like that, this is designed to give like a little bit more overview of how to do like a little bit longer term treatments for this. And so I want to go through the basics of it. Now, let me really fast let you know a couple things about how to interact during this session that we're doing. Like at the moment, I'm doing it live, obviously, but if you're watching the recording, here's a couple things you'll need to know. So I always encourage people who are kind of attending live on the Zoom call to interact. And so I have questions that I always ask. And as you're interacting on Zoom, if you need to know that kind of thing, you're going to want to tap the screen to make the controls appear. And you're going to tap this participants button so that you can this is on a mobile device, obviously. So you'll to after participants, you click on chat, and that's how you'll be able to send your response. And we just kind of make sure that you're interacting throughout the thing with 4 or 5 questions. And that allows us to be able to reward you for attending and participating in all 8 of the education classes. So we are now on week 5, Symphony of the Cells. It's okay if you've missed these ones. We do have those still available. You can find them through YouTube. That's an easy way. Also, if you're on the Enamor with Nature Oral Education group on Facebook, that's another easy way to find these. And if you do want to start getting like regular announcements about like when we're doing a Zoom call or what's going on, then you'll want to send a text to the number 81010, and the text message will be at the Lovely V if you're close by or the Orlando area, or it'll be at Far and Loved if you're kind of in another state where you wouldn't ever be able to come to one of our fun events that we do in person. And you do have a choice to be able to get it as an email notification. So you have those Zoom links sent right to your computer, or you can have them sent through text, which is, I think, very, very easy. Now, the thing that you guys are going to want to know for today is your first question. Again, you can answer live, or my assistant, Melissa, is going to pop the Google form into the link or into the chat right now, and we'll have that posted below the title of the YouTube show notes. So that means if you're looking at it, say on your phone, or you'll see it pretty easy if you're looking on a computer. There'll be like a little downward arrow that you can click on next to the title, which will be Symphony of the Cells CE 5 of 8. And when you click next to the arrow, you'll see a drop-down menu, and the Google form link will be there for you to fill it out. So the first question on the Google form, and right now for you to put in the chat, is, have you heard of Symphony of the Cells before? And if not, what would you guess that it's about? Okay, so just give me like a 2 or 3 word answer. I'm going to take a look at the chat in here, and I'm always very curious to see what people put even on the Google form. So the question is, have you heard of Symphony of the Cells before? And if not, what do you guess that it's all about? So at this point, I don't think I've given away very much, except I showed you the book. But so go ahead and put that in the chat if you guys would. All right. Okay, now on to this one. Okay, so Symphony of the Cells. Here's the deal. We're using these essential oils with a certain technique. And as we do that, we have some guidelines for some protocols that I'm going to be showing you. So that's the basic idea of what we're going to be going over right now. So you might be asking, why essential oils? So what's cool about essential oils is that they are natural substances from seeds, bark, stems, root, flowers, and other parts of the plant. But what makes it really awesome is that they are easily recognized by our bodies. So we can break down those elements that are in the essential oils, and we can utilize them very, very easily. It's nothing that's been made in a laboratory, and so it's our body just really responds to it well, and it's going to be able to assist us with the cleansing of natural and foreign substances. So and of course, you guys probably, I assume I don't need to tell you guys that doTERRA really is like the most tested, the most trusted. You're not going to find another company that goes to such great lengths to make sure that it's not only pure, but also potent, right? And that's a big deal, because when we have the, no, thank you, Bev. Okay, so when we have an essential oil that's pure and potent, that's going to make the biggest difference when we're using it in the proper way. So that's what we have to, pay attention to. All right, so why is this technique so important? Symphony of the Cells, which I know is abbreviated as SOC, was created with the knowledge that each condition is connected to a body system. So when you do a Symphony of the Cells application, you're treating not only the condition, but also the symptoms and the underlying causes. That's a big, big deal, guys. The underlying causes is, it's the key to be able to get that greater wellness that we're really looking for, not covering up a symptom. You guys probably are already aware that a lot of the medications that people use for certain issues that they may be having long term often have side effects that are worse than the thing that they were originally struggling with. And many times they have to turn to an extra medication to be able to mitigate that experience. Whereas the way that we're doing it with the essential oils and using this technique is so supportive of the whole body that you don't end up with things like that. So I think it's really, really fantastic. I have several stories about finding some really good success with these. A lot of what my husband had liked before was the inflammatory protocol. It's just very surprising how much it brought down his whole level of discomfort in his whole body. I also have people who are working with this and had good results using some of the cardiac protocols. And 2 people I know also have been using the hormone protocol and have found some very obvious results from using that kind of like on a longer term basis. And we'll talk about what we mean by long term in just a minute. Okay, so it's these body systems that are being supported. Applying oils to the spine specifically is effective because the oils quickly hit the nervous system, and then from the nervous system get sent out to the rest of the body. And here's another key, guys. This is, I think, a big important thing, especially because of what we've been going through in 2020. Pathogens tend to hide out in spinal fluid. So by regularly applying essential oils to this area on the spine, there's a greater likelihood of catching something before it starts. So this is a way for us to really support ourselves all the time. Applying oils to the bottoms of the feet is effective because of the multiple reflex points found on the feet, as well as quick absorption. Here's your question number 2. What is it called when you put oils? Sorry, just kidding. What is it called when you use points on the bottoms of the feet to create a scientifically documentable improvement? I know that's a little drawn out. Hope you guys can get what I'm saying, right? So what's it called when you do stuff to the bottoms of the feet to get a benefit from it? All right, go ahead and put that in the chat for me if you guys would. I'm actually meant to go see. So some people actually had heard of it before. I'm saying, oh, goodness. Okay, one person already got the answer. Good job, Debbie. Very fun. I mean, well, should I tell everybody? I guess I should right now, right? Okay, it's reflexology, right? That's the science that looks at the nerve endings in the bottom of the feet, and by kind of manipulating or adjusting those specific spots, which we can also enhance using oils as well, we get a lot of benefit. Okay, good job. Let's see, the application process is quick. It takes 5 to 7 minutes to complete one protocol. So actually today, my little assistant who just popped in here a moment ago is going to come back, and she's going to be my protocol dummy. So I'm actually going to show you on the massage table behind me what it looks like to do this super fast, really easy, no skills needed protocol. For her, we're going to do the digestible in one. So stay tuned, guys. We have the live demo coming up, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And I hope that gives you also an example to see it's very quick, all right? Only 5 to 7 minutes, and there's no special hand motions. The benefits in the oils, and so you don't have to be a masseuse who's gone through all the massage therapy training and things like that. It's just a quick, effective way to get oils on the body. And the idea of doing it, here's for ongoing maintenance, which is what I usually do with my kiddos and my husband and I, 1 to 4 protocols per month will be sufficient. Like if your kid or you or whoever it is you're talking about isn't really going through something that's acute, then you're able to just do once a week, once a month even. But if you do have an active issue, you're going to want to go to 3 protocols per week and commit to 3 months. Serious issues did not develop overnight, so you must be patient with the oils as they work with your body to heal itself from the inside out. So if you guys can imagine, especially if you have something acute, and I can tell you guys this really works, right? Like doing 3 within a week, you already start to notice an improvement. By week 2, when you're doing another 3 in that week, or week 3, you really start to see some improvements, especially for some that have like harder to control symptoms. But the main idea would be like go ahead and do it for a full 3 months if you really want some super good long-term support that's not going to rebound. Okay, and so here's a little something that, like, when you watch any of the things by Boyd Truman, he really harps on this, right? He says, although even if you're doing those 3 protocols per week and commit to 3 months, there's other ways that we really should be supporting our body as well. So keep in mind that your nutrition, your personal care practices play a huge role in your body's well-being. And so adding essential oils won't yield as much of a result as you're hoping for if your diet is high in processed foods and sugars and artificial sweeteners. If you're using lotions, perfumes, air fresheners, shampoos, and other products that contain chemicals and fragrance, you're not going to see nearly as much of a benefit. So don't shoot yourself in the foot, guys. So when beginning this essential oil protocol, it's normal to also go through a cleansing process. And you could notice it as a method of minor skin irritation. You might even see some upset stomach or diarrhea. Or what I have experienced is, if I haven't done them for a while and my body is kind of needing to get back into balance, I might just feel extra soreness after I have a protocol. This is a temporary side effect. It's just the way that my body's trying to cleanse those unnatural substances that it's been harboring for a while. So that's kind of like the caveat to say, if you're helping someone and they're like, oh goodness, I don't think I want you to do another protocol on me because I had diarrhea afterwards, or I got I had soreness in my joints afterwards. Encourage them, even before you begin to help them, that they may experience that. And so all the same things, just like when you and I go to get a massage, and the masseuse often tells us, don't forget, you have to drink extra water because we've manipulated some of those lymph nodes, and your body's going to be trying to cleanse all these things out of your system. You have to support it by giving it the extra water so that that lactic acid can be released from your muscles and things like that. So even though we're not doing an actual massage, it's the essential oils doing the work, but it's the same concept. So support your body and be gentle with it after you have one of these protocols, especially when you're first starting off, okay? All right, here is this. He harps on this so much when he goes through his training. Boyd Truman really, really highly recommends and talks a lot about the lifelong vitality supplements. He feels like it's really essential to start getting 4 of each daily. Now, I think I've told you guys before, and if you were here in what was it? Number 2 of our continuing education, we talked through all the nutrition and supplements. So you can go back and rewatch that one if you haven't seen it yet. But this whole idea, I sometimes will take only 2 or 3 of each daily. He really feels like it's not going to be nearly as supportive for you unless you're doing the full 4. So, but I do still, I'm sure he would say also, read your body's response and things like that. But it is a good idea to get up to 4 of each of lifelong vitality supplements. Actually, let me pop in for just a second. You guys are probably I'm going to log in on my doTERRA website, and I'm going to show you guys, just in case you didn't catch that. We have the extra benefit. I'm going to type into my loyalty rewards order, pop in here. So here is what, okay, delayed shipping, no big deal. These lifelong vitality packet that you see here, this is what we're talking about, and it does include that whole alpha CRS, and as well as the E omegas and the microplex VMZ. But here's the thing that most people don't know is when you get this on your loyalty reward order, here's an extra benefit of ordering the LRP style, which I'll tell you more benefits in a minute. But you can actually, how about this? You guys tell me, let's make that our question number 3, okay? What is your favorite thing about ordering LRP style? That's loyalty rewards program, right? What's your favorite thing? Type it in the chat for me. Or if you are watching this as recording, jump on that Google form and type in, what's your favorite benefit of ordering the loyalty reward style? Because getting the LLV on the LRP, that's lifelong vitality supplements on your loyalty rewards program order, definitely has some really cool benefits. So I'm going to tell you guys a couple of them. But let me go back and share as you guys are typing your comments. Okay, so here's one of them. You can add extra things to it. Now, Boyd Truman is huge. You guys probably already saw it written in there. He's huge on this Terrazyme. He feels like to be able to break down all these good nutrients that are in here and that we eat, since our bodies stop producing the metabolic enzymes, and we really need to have the extra digestive enzymes that come from this. He's super, super big into this. He also really loves the PB Assist and these deep blue polyphenol complex. But take a look real quick here. It's normally $37.50 if you pop onto the doTERRA website and you already have your account. But because we're buying it in connection with the LLV, we're only going to pay $20. And that seems really great. Okay, the PB Assist for probiotics are also, again, only 20. But the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, we can see a huge, huge discount, but very super generous discount. Instead of $59.50 for these Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, which is so good for inflammation, and it's got frankincense resin and all the curcumin and all that really, really good stuff. And that is normally $60, but we only had to pay 20 when we're getting it together with the LLV on the LRP. I know, it's fun. It's fun to say. You guys should try saying it too. Okay, so all right, I'm seeing a couple people pop into the comments. Bonus points to spend on free stuff. Yes, let me actually make sure you guys know about how that works. Oh, okay, slip through that. Okay, here we go. So we get points as long as and our points will continue to go up. So we start off with only 10% back. And if we're continuing to order with LRP style, we go up to 15, 20, 25, and after 13 months, if we've been ordering, and again, you can stop it at any time in between and restart it. But if we've been doing that for a while, we get a 30% back in points. And those bonus points are amazing because we then get, oh, I have to squeeze out of this. So I actually have been thinking I probably need to, let me add in, I have to remember I'm low on coriander, which isn't a very common one, but I'm using it today in the protocol, and it's going to be like trying to get like the last little bit out. Okay, so if I want to use my points, oh, how funny! This one actually says I can't use my points on it. I wonder if they're super low on it. All right. Okay, this one I actually did just get to. Oh, I'm not sure why it's telling me I can't use my points. That's weird, right? Why is it telling me I can't use my points? Okay, normally, I don't know if I have a bad connection or something, but normally you'll see a little drop-down menu here, and I'm able, oh, that's why. It's because I used them all the last time. Guys, I used like 200 points, and that's why I don't have the 25 points or the 35 because I'm so used to having so many here, right? But anyway, so I used a bunch of points when I made my last order to get a whole bunch of stuff. So normally you'll see the points pop up here. So if I have this one go through as it is, the 63 points are going to jump in here, and I'll end up with the, what is that, 80 points in here once I start doing those kinds of things. Does that make sense, guys? All right, and so, and yes, we do get the extra benefit. Oh no, you know what? Let me stop sharing here. I was gonna see what else you guys meant to put there. Yeah, bonus points to spend on free stuff. Favorite benefit is accumulating points for the free items later on. Thank you, Krista. Debbie says free stuff. Yeah, so here during the beginning of October, everybody got a free clove because we ordered before the 15th of the month. And tomorrow is the new month, November. I have no idea what the new item of the month is going to be, but it's always somewhere between 15 and 25 points worth. So if you are going to get 100 worth anyway, and you just want to pop one extra thing on, it's a really nice way to add to your collection. Let's see. Let me see here. A percentage off and getting stuff back. Okay, all right. And then, okay, I have a question here also about explaining the point redemption fee. Let me pop over real fast because some of you guys are asking. So there is when you use the points from your cart, there is a $3 point redemption. So that ends up being added down here. And the reason for that is because sometimes you'll get hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. Oh wait, I probably forgot to share my screen so you guys can't see where I'm pointing, right? Sorry, guys. Okay, wait. Okay, so if you guys are getting hundreds of dollars worth of stuff like I did, I still made sure that I was over 125 because I wanted my free item. But sometimes people will just get like, one thing, and that whole point redemption thing is just because they're doing a lot of extra processing. And so it's $3. So here's my recommendation. I like to to use my points as they come. I usually do like about 100 at a time. Now, for me, that takes me like 3 months or something. Sometimes if there's BOGOs, it might even be, less than that, right? Because like you guys saw, like I'm getting 67 points just with this one order, right? So I could very easily after 2 or 3 months get a whole boatload of extra stuff. But I'll do it just every couple of months to keep it at a good pace, because then there's only one fee that's a $3 thing. All right, hopefully that will help you guys. Thank you for asking the question. That's one of the benefits of jumping on live when we're doing the Zoom calls, is you guys get to ask questions as we go. So hopefully that'll encourage you guys for Saturday mornings if you guys can. All right, I'm gonna go back, and we are going to, nope, sorry. Okay, so Boyd Truman's recommendation is about those lifelong vitality supplements with the Terrazyme 1 to 2 with each meal. He also says it's super important to get some of the lemon or other citrus in your water throughout the day. And he does also really love the turmeric capsules daily and the Zendocrine soft gel, because it's so great at cleansing the liver. So if you guys do need a whole extra cleanse, that's a different thing. But he says this is like daily foundational, like don't forget. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple super fast guidelines. I'm gonna try not to stress on these, because be, the fact that I do these fairly often, some of these become um, more needed for me, but you guys may not necessarily even know what even the basics are, so it might be overwhelming. So hopefully you guys won't see it as overwhelming to have all these extra details. In general, we're going to use 3 to 4 drops per oil for a normal healthy adult. Now, I'm going to be doing my protocol on my sweet daughter, who's only 10. So I'm going to just do 1 to 2 drops for her. If you have people who are elderly or have a serious health condition, you'll also want to start with a fewer amount of drops. You will want to kind of take a look at the symbols so that you can have like a good understanding of what's required in each one. Also, set out all the oils with the caps off prior to starting, so you can keep a hand on the client throughout the majority of the protocol. Now, this is, yeah, okay, so here are some of the application instructions. This one here means to apply the oil to the neck and shoulders. This one is to put on a carrier oil. The nose means that you need to let them smell the oil, right? The olfactory senses want to get involved there to really benefit, as well as getting it on the spine and the bottoms of feet. So this one means the spine. The excess oil, meaning you don't have to put the an extra drop of essential oil on the bottoms of their feet. You just rub what was on your hand after you rubbed it into the spine. And then they also have the optional thing about covering with a warm towel. I'm not going to do that one today, but it is really nice, and I've done it for several people before, to be able to kind of drive in the oils, that hot water, the heat, and the water, because water and oil don't mix, right? So it's driving the essential oils and the carrier oil deeper into the spine. So that can be a really good thing. This is actually the protocol that we're going to do on my daughter today. And so I have these kind of set out. And when she comes in just a minute, she's going to take off the tops. So that'll be, good to kind of get that set up, and you guys will see how fast we can do it. If you don't know where to start with the digestive or the forgiveness protocol. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. So tackling most things will begin with tackling digestive health. Long-term emotional issues are also the cause of many physical ailments. So that forgiveness protocol is a great way to begin working through and letting go, right? So not covering up those symptoms, not just like throwing some medications at it, but to really work through them, right? And get to that root issue, being able to release it in a much more healthy way. Combining the aromatic, topical, and internal use will have the best outcomes. So here's kind of an interesting idea. He says to choose 3 oils from each protocol that are for internal use. Make a capsule of 3 drops to take them internally with lemon water, either before or after the protocol. So this is especially for people who are working to relieve a specific acute issue. You're going to want to kind of like, what the oils that appear in there, the majority of them, of course, this isn't true for other companies, right? But for doTERRA, we have the benefit of essential oils that are okay for internal use. In fact, they're recommended for internal use with that CPTG rating. And so it even says right there on the bottle, it has the supplemental facts, which you don't find anyplace, and says for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. So he's saying if it's just in order to make sure you can get it, you can put it at, and like I happen to grab oregano, which is super spicy and doesn't go well under the tongue or down the gullet. So putting that in a capsule is really fantastic. Some of them you may just find some citrus oils or things like that that are also good to put in your water, but having that extra benefit of the internal use as well as being able to breathe it in and have it on your body is really great. For any protocol that ends with peppermint, which is a driver oil, consider finishing the protocol with a hot and wet compress to enhance results, or take a hot shower. I think I mentioned that before. For protocols with neroli, jasmine, and rose, which only come in the touch version, consider decanting them into a 5 ml or a 15 ml bottle so that you can drop them on the spine as you would with the other ones, as if you're doing them fairly often. If you do keep them in roller bottles, be careful to put them on an unoiled hand to prevent mixing a different oil in your rollers. You guys can probably get like the main idea, where if you're like, we love neroli in my house. It's super, super interesting. But most of the ones when he shows the jasmine, neroli, and rose and things like that, he'll put them in the beginning of a protocol instead of towards the end. And the idea there is use like a finger that's unoiled so that you do that. Now, the reason is because if you were to just have the person's spine and after you'd applied other ones to roll it on top of it, you would notice that some of that, peppermint or whatever it may be, is getting into the roller bottle and changing your special neroli or whatever thing it may be. So we do that, or you can also pipette it out and put it into a different bottle so you can do the dropper. Hope that's helpful for you guys. We also, when there's more than one protocol that you can benefit from, you should consider doing 3 different ones in a week's time to see what's most beneficial. Sometimes you really can get a sense of what is going to be super, super helpful for you. And it's totally fine to change it up. Don't be like, oh, well, I have to stick with the one I started with. It's not that serious. Here's another cool thing. You can reference the oil substitution chart if you don't have certain oils to complete the protocol. So when you get this $12.95 book, or if you're in a pinch, go ahead and just call me or text me, right? So here at the back of the book, you have an oil substitution thing, and it gives the oils not according to like what you would substitute if it was a diffuser blend or something like that, like, right? Because you might do lime instead of grapefruit or something like that. But it turns out some of them have really different ones because of their chemical constituents that and the work that they're supposed to be doing in your body. So let me see here. Say you're getting super, super low on frankincense and you're like, what in the world? How am I going to get through this protocol? So surprisingly, it tells us that pink pepper or immortelle or fennel would be a good substitute. Now, obviously, and it's listed in order of like number 1, like make that your first choice, number 2, and number 3. So I think it's really interesting that pink pepper would be a substitute because you're like, what? How are they even similar? Or fennel being number 3, like it's not even from a tree. How could it? But it's because of the chemical constituents. And so this is super duper helpful to have around. Okay, let me show you guys a couple more things. I'm gonna show, okay, the oil substitution. Oh yeah, and he says, proceed with confidence. You hold the keys to unlocking great problems and bringing life-changing results. So the basic idea, again, is if you're like, don't sit in fear and be like, oh, I'm going to choose the wrong one, or I don't have the right oils, I can't start this, or sometimes we'll do this, well, I don't have somebody who will put the essential oils on my back, so obviously I can't do something in the cells, right? So by the way, if you do come upon that issue, um, sitting yourself backwards in a chair, or like if you don't have a massage table with you, sitting backwards in a chair with your shirt off and like leaning over the back of it is a really good way to have access to your back and your and the bottoms of your feet. Um, sorry, I gotta my protocol buddy has not shown up when the timer went off. I told her to set the timer. I'm thinking she may not have paid as close attention. Anyway, um, so as much of your back as you can get, just do that, and as much of your feet as you can get. Like, and if you're, in the snowy throes of, I'm seeing Krista's here. If you're up in Michigan and it's been fresh snow and you can't fathom taking off your thick woolly socks, it's fine, no big deal. Like, just go ahead and just do it to your back. The most benefit will be doing all of it, but don't be scared to try. Okay, guys, you're gonna see benefits, and if you don't know how, just like, don't make excuses. It's going to be fine, and it's not complicated. Okay, one or two more things that I need to show you before we have Aria come are, okay, so here's a couple of the things. Now, I know it's like probably kind of tricky to see. Here is like the basic protocol for like, these are the issues that you probably are going to be addressing. So we have the basic one for any kind of person, just a regular boost immune system. If you have any cardiovascular issues or osteo issues, you guys can probably see some of that. Like this osteo one we've done because of the uric acid that's built up in my husband's joints before. He gets this issue in his ankle instead of in his big toe. But so like when you have people who are presenting with high levels of cholesterol, or issues with how fast their blood flows or doesn't flow, you're going to want to go for this cardiovascular protocol here. The one we're doing today is the digestive, and you're going to notice here for the digestive one, there are so many things that this helps, right? Like, you guys might have guessed like that bloating or like cellulite might have like been in this mix, but yeah, or even nausea. But you guys probably didn't think through the idea of having those little pustules that are kind of itchy around your elimination pathways. You probably didn't know that that was going to be like an actual thing, right? And here's another one that you guys probably didn't notice. When you get those super bad skin irritations of dryness and even like patchy discoloration on your skin, that is going to be definitely helped by the digestive protocol. We have also tons of benefits from this inflammation protocol. And again, you guys may or may not have, you know, uh, like an actual, what are we calling these? Diagnosis. But some of these I think are really surprisingly related to inflammation. So I hope you guys will kind of be able to take a look at some of these. I am going to actually ask you, your question number 4 is, which protocol are you most interested in? So hopefully you guys got a couple ideas already, right? So we're, and this isn't even all of them, but we have the the basic, the cardiovascular, osteo, digestive, inflammation, those are the ones we've looked at so far. None of the emotional ones are actually, in here yet. Right, and so, and take a look also here at the neurological ones. These ones I think can be, again, also like some of these things when we think about the memory and how the brain works, we may be able to kind of think through some of those. But even as far as it works with like other thyroid issues, I think it's huge to be able to have something that is going to help people at this time. So hopefully you guys are taking a quick look and seeing some helpful things. This one here is the bug is now called ID. I'll let you guys guess what that one's for. But again, another really long list, and some of them like serious things that you're going to probably need to take several months to work through. But like I love being able to have an attack plan for helping these things. Respiratory protocol has been super helpful. I know several people who this was one of their very obvious go-tos when some of the issues from 2020 started popping up. This was a really good one, as well as the ID protocol. Here we have a couple things for hormones, and this was one that I've helped other people with. When you get like those temperature fluctuations during certain, transitions in our feminine cycles and things like that. I also have really liked actually, let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah. So here in the lymphatic protocol, this one I've used also several times to really help someone who was struggling with seasonal issues, which I know you might not necessarily think of as being that lead prep. Might only think of that as having kind of a respiratory kind of issue, but actually that reminds me, I got to tell you guys about the journal as well. Okay, so keep putting in your question number 4. Which protocol are you most interested in for yourself? And by the way, guys, your keyword that I'm gonna actually wait. I'm gonna wait to tell you guys the keyword. All right, keep going for another minute, but I have a code word that you guys will have to know. And so here's the journal. This one is an extra, I feel like it's maybe like in the 25 or something like that, but it's for people who geek out on this kind of stuff. And what's neat is, say for example, you look up tinnitus, and you guys probably will think that's, like in one of the things that handles like ear, nose, throat, or maybe something related to inflammation or something like that. Just thinking it's a hearing issue, this whole ringing in the ears kind of thing. But when you look it up in here and the body systems that it supports, they point you towards the ones that are good for lymphatic drainage, because often that is one of the issues that causes that kind of extra sound to go on all the time, and also to a lot of the immune boosting protocols. So I really I could go into details about why that one is such a good one, but if you if you think you're really interested in this and want to know all the details, then you should probably just go ahead and get that particular extra book. It's definitely worth it. Or you can borrow mine if you really need to. All right. This is definitely the spot where I was thinking that Arya would be in here by now. So let me see if there's something else that I need to share with you guys. Oh, actually there is. Oh, okay, so I have an extra minute while I've texted to see if they could send her down. This one. Okay. I was going to let you guys also know that if you are looking at price for the Lifelong Vitality supplement, you will definitely want to know the fact that for the 79 whatever 50 or whatever that doTERRA is charging for the month, which by the way you do get the reward points on, so it ends up being 30%. Well, depending on which range you're in, right? If you're only at the 10% back, then you don't get you don't have as much of a rewards. But all the things you're buying that have a PV or product value, that's what you're earning those points on that you get to, spend for whatever your choice is. And so not only that, but we also have quite a bit of benefit for, like, if you went to GNC and just like picked and chose some of the things that are in the lifelong vitality supplements and got them at the amounts that you would want them for like making your own up, it would be $250 every month to equal those. So we are definitely getting a very nice benefit from using that in the lifelong vitality method. Okay, let me stop my share here for another minute. Oh, thinking about rotating through several in 1 month. That's a good idea, Melissa. Yes, have something that sells protocols in 1 month. Yes, inflammation and digestive are definitely some of my main ones as well. Wouldn't know where to start, have to study a little bit more. All right, and probably the anxiety one. Yes, I hear you, Marie. That's a good one. Thank you guys for sharing. I'm gonna do like this super embarrassing thing and and actually call my call to have my assistant come down. I don't know that I'm paying her enough to arrive on time though, because there really isn't. Hi, I need Arya now, please.
She's on her way.
Thanks. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start taking the tops off. And you guys can, go ahead and lay down. You gotta take your shirt off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking the tops off, and you guys can watch how fast this all happens. So the frankincense, the thyme, the turmeric, the aroma touch, the bergamot, the coriander, which I'm a little low on, the digest zen, the geranium, and the peppermint. And I will show that, I'll show the protocol again. If you guys want to take like a quick screenshot of it. All right, I think this is still okay where you guys should be able to see her. All right, so we're starting with frankincense. Almost all of the protocols begin with frankincense going on the top of the neck and the shoulders. And then they also ask for her to breathe it in. So I'm just putting my hand under the massage table so that she can breathe it from my hand, or you can also put the bottle under there. And pretty much every single protocol begins like this. And then you do 3 breaths. That's how we do it. Now I still have some on my hand, so I'm gonna rush that onto the bottoms of her feet. And then I go on to the next thing, which is the fractionated coconut oil. If you don't have fractionated coconut oil, you can do something else, like just some other, whether coconut oil or avocado, jojoba, whatever thing it may be. All right, and we're doing, here, let me do my thing, buddy. Thank you. All right, so this one is not important how much you get. It's to the, hey, let go. It's to the portion of the size of the back. And when you have a smaller back, obviously you'll use less. So I can't tell you like a tablespoon or whatever, and just be able to cover the back. And remember this, is I'm gonna start with the protocol as I go. This is thyme, and we're just doing 2 drops. I could probably do 1 for her if I needed to. The fractionated coconut oil for things like thyme or oregano, this is going to help her not have any sensitization, but it also has the extra benefit of being able to help the essential oils stay in the tissues longer. This is turmeric. We're doing 2 drops here. And I'm doing an upward, and you can also clockwise, like upward clockwise rotation over the spine. And then again to the bottoms of the feet, you just do a couple swipes, like a swipe on each. Here's the aroma touch. Whoop, that one came out a little fast. That's okay though. All right, and we're doing the is it clockwise? You guys might want to check me to find out if it's clockwise or not. Melissa, I don't know if you have your book. I think I might be saying it wrong. I can check it in a minute. But all right, and then here is bergamot in 2 drops here.
It is a clockwise motion.
Clockwise, okay. I think what happens is I normally, when I'm doing them in my room with when this is there, I'm doing it that way, but this is reversed because of I want to be able to have like a good, what do we call it? Which I don't even know, presentation for the thing. All right, and then swiping on the bottom of the feet. So yeah, got me all confused. And here's my coriander. It actually came up fast. It must be really close to the end. Okay, so we're doing clockwise motions. Swipe on the bottom of the feet. 3 left. We have Digest Zen. And the reason we're doing this particular protocol for her is not only is it a great one for kids in general, but sometimes, especially around days when there are holidays and having a lot of desserts and candies, as you guys can probably imagine, those things come up every now and then. This particular person gets a little stopped up, and so this is a good one to keep things flowing. That's one of the ways that we know that our body's eliminating well. And the last one is peppermint, which is that driver oil. So we want to make sure we do get that over the entire spine and onto the bottoms of the feet. I'm going to take an extra minute just because she does have somewhat sensitive skin, and we did use the thyme and the peppermint, which were kind of hot. I'm going to put a little extra carrier oil on her. That way we can just make sure that there's not going to be any hot spots for her afterwards.
There's a little bit of hot spot on my foot for some reason.
Okay.
I'll rub a little bit more down there.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move that back, and she can hide behind my chair and put the tops on while I finish up. Okay, I think I'm blocking you, Liv. All right, so she can do that. We had a row, but we're not going to take you guys' time for her to go get it. So anyway, hope it answers all of your questions about Symphony of the Cells. Again, if you do still have more questions, I would love to answer a few if you have them, or just go to symphonyofthecells.com is another really awesome way. Okay, I'm going to transition into the next portion, which I also actually really kind of like talking about. This is talking about the 3 kinds of people. So you guys probably are, well, yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody who's going to watch this is going to be one of these 3 types of people. So the first person likes to just live the wellness lifestyle. They are excited about like getting healthy, about having a natural alternative for everything. And doTERRA supports this kind of person by being able to provide free wellness education. And that is both on the website, which is very available, plus the idea of being able to connect with people like me or Marcella or Michelle or Melissa, who are offering, you know, these kinds of educational webinars as well. Now, then the second type of person is someone who is sitting here being like, these oils are already making such a big difference in my life. I already know for sure that my neighbor across the way and my mom who struggles with this and that really needs these. And if you would like to be someone who gets your products paid for and have what we call free natural health care from doTERRA by being able to get your products paid for, then that's like one of the many ways that doTERRA supports you as well, through a nice little compensation plan. And then there's the third kind of person who wants to do what I'm doing, which is kind of basically I have a passion to share my love and my knowledge of essential oils and to really make some super positive changes in the world. And also that allows me to not only make an impact, but also to earn some financial freedom, which I think is a really big deal. So doTERRA supports that person with just very, very generous compensation plan. And I would like to be able to tell you guys more about that if you are number 2 or number 3. Thank you, love. If you have ever heard of the idea, the story about someone who's hauling buckets versus building a pipeline, the basic idea is that there was a woman who was, her main job was to go far from the village with her buckets and a big old post on her shoulders, and she would go and get water from the nearest water source and trudge all the way back to the village. And as she sold those buckets that she'd hauled all that way, that was her method of supporting her family. Now, over time, she started to realize that if she didn't find something else, that one day taking care of a sick kid, or one day when she wasn't feeling so good, or the fact that she was aging and she was a little worried that she may need to be supporting herself, when she couldn't lift those buckets, she decided to start building a pipeline. And so slowly but surely over several years, she would haul only enough buckets to be able to survive. And then in her free time, she would be building that pipeline. So of course, what happened is, because she stayed persistent and consistent, is when the day came that she could turn on the spigot in that village and didn't have to go all the way down to that water source, it created freedom for her, financial freedom, but also just the ability to do things beyond what she would have been able to do if she had to continue hauling all those buckets. And so as we look at that story, for you and I, a traditional job of hauling buckets, trading hours for dollars, and where you don't get to make it a choice about how much your earnings are, or what kind of time freedom you have, and you don't get a choice about what you want to be doing. So the really cool thing about that pipeline, which is what I feel like doTERRA has been a really great, answer for me, is you get that true residual income, where even if you take off several days or a month or week, a month at a time, you are still making an income, which is huge. And I get to be in charge of how much I earn. Like if I want to really, hit the ground running with this next month and have a bunch of classes on the books and do some really great things with sharing the oils, then I get to make that choice, versus if I say, hey, I've got a couple trips coming up and I need to take some time off because we're going to be vacationing, or because so-and-so's sick. Well, it's my freedom to choose my schedule. Plus I get to build my dreams. It's my thing, not somebody else's that I have to do because they told me to. Now, what makes doTERRA a better alternative than, say, some other company? You guys probably have heard me talk a lot before about some of the things I love. So here's like a brief list for you guys to take a look at. But I would say, to me, there's 3 that stand out. The fact that they're the most tested, most trusted, that is huge. Like, you guys have no idea, like when you really look into some of the specifics about why hospitals and doctors are able to use doTERRA only essential oils as complementary care, because they do have the CPTG backing, because they are very, very consistent about testing every single batch of oil. And it's so transparent, so trackable. And so doTERRA is the most tested, most trusted. There is no exception to that. No one can be like, oh, but that's such a, no, doTERRA is the best in that way. Also, The fact that it actually creates some real residual income is huge because the retention rate for doTERRA is a record-breaking 65%. That's the average, right? And some of that is people who are not even being very well supported with education, like what you guys are getting. So it's a really big deal. Right, 13% is the average industry rate. So if you're looking at some other skincare company or a shampoo hair care company that maybe you've heard of, this is within a 1 year time frame. How many people of those who get an account are going to repurchase during that year? Now the 13% is actually throughout a year. They made it 65% of people who have an account with doTERRA will reorder within 3 months because they love the product and they're going to continue getting it. All right, and this whole idea of having partnerships with growers around the world. You guys know that I talk about co-impact sourcing all the time, and how it can make me cry. And I always recommend you guys go just check out, like, just on YouTube or things like that, some really, really cool things that are going on with our global community of really just down to earth, like honest, hardworking people, families who are getting finally a fair wage, which is often doTERRA does something like 8 times the going rate for producing some of these awesome oils. But through doing that, there's not the compromise on purity like you might expect if they're sourcing it from some faraway third world country. There are ways that they're able to sustain that super strict standard and actually get like better results because of some of the training that they do. But this co-impact sourcing thing is huge in terms of helping people around the world where they get what they deserve for their hard work, and we get a better quality oil. So that's the co-impact sourcing. It's really, really awesome how they do that. Okay, and the basic idea of what we actually do is we give samples to people for free, and just samples, not full bottles of stuff like it shows here. It might be a little confusing. And then when they are like completely thrilled and blown out of the water at how fast that, whatever it may be, like Serenity, how fast it works so well for their sleep issue, then you say, well, let me tell you, I have a class coming up. I'd love to teach you more about it. Well, great. And here we are deciding what it is that you want to enroll with to support all the other things that are going on besides just the sleep issue that we originally gave you the Serenity for, or whatever. And then there's just the continued support, making education available to them, helping them know what's coming up with doTERRA, with different specials and things. So that's basically, all that I do. And to be able to have some really nice income that is a result of that, like getting up here like to like gold level of about $4,500 every single month is it's pretty nice. Like you keep building and building and building. The whole being a presidential diamond and having like hundreds of thousands, like at least $100,000 a month. Now, what's listed here, and I guess this one doesn't come through super clear. If you guys want a copy of this where you can blow it up and see it a little better, let me know, because I do have the other resource on this. But so this is the average for all the presidential diamonds. So a brand new presidential diamond isn't going to have this kind of income compared to someone who's been with doTERRA since the beginning, who's 10 years in the industry. All right, let me actually see if there's anyone here who would like to tell us about give a testimony about what residual income means to you. Is there anyone here who could volunteer? Oh, I see Melissa here. Would you go ahead and report? Oh,
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have a lot of background noise.
When you have lots of kids, you often have lots of background noise, so understandable.
Yes.
Tell us what you've
Yeah.
experienced.
Well, I started doing doTERRA probably 4 years ago. I think that I just had my updated renewal. So it was kind of slow going, but gotten to the point now where I am getting most of my oils paid for, and in some months, I mean, totally paid for and a little bit extra so that I can, reinvest a little bit. So that's been really nice. And even though it's taken a while and like I said, slow going, it's nice to have that little extra during the month um, deposited in my account. And it's fairly consistent at this point where I can make a full order of my oils every month and know that that is going to be reimbursed later in the month. Um, and it's really nice not to have to go out and outside of the house so much to corral people, or to go door to door and feel like you're selling. Because I'm definitely more of the sharing type, but I get that added bonus of being able to reap some of the rewards of having a great product that I can share and being willing to sample people because Amanda, at least early on, knows that I was giving away quite a lot of oils for quite a while. But then right now it's nice because I even have family members that have I guess I've been working on and sharing and resharing, and we're finally coming on board and able to get their own accounts, and now I get to kind of support them and be able to help them too on their journey.
That's so cool. Yeah, and I think that's the thing for me is it's not so much, I mean, yes, we do love having something appear in our bank account, but I mean, it's the bigger deal is like sometimes when people finally decide that they're open to using the oils and are seeing like really good results from it, that's what just really, really thrills me. So awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah,
You're
very
welcome.
cool. All right, let me go back and try to do this. I don't want to take too long. I know everybody's probably got fun plans for the rest of the day, getting little things ready for whatever event you guys may be celebrating tonight. I know there's a whole different waves that the people are celebrating Halloween, but anyway, so probably some of your question is about how much time is involved because you're sitting here looking at the both Melissa and I who have shared are mothers of either 4 or 5. No, wait, you're a mother of 5 too, aren't you, Melissa? Okay, so we have several other things that take our time, right? And maybe you're not in that place, but so 3 to 5 hours a week is a good kind of general time frame if you're wanting to get your product paid for. And I know even as Melissa shared, sometimes it's not even that, but sometimes you decide to make it a little more than that, and like you get to be in control of that. Being able to supplement your income is investing about 10 to 15 hours a week, and replacing your income, you're going to need to plan on 15 to 30 hours a week. Now, this may work for you if you're passionate about oils, if you care about people, and if you can follow a system and get things done on your own without someone checking on you for clocking in and clocking out. So go ahead and ask yourself those questions and see if that would work for you as well. If it would, if you want to kind of check out what the other possibilities are, identifying what type of person you are, which we said like type 1, 2, or 3, you're going to want to let us know if you're a 2 or a 3. And we have a Business Made Easy presentation that we can kind of like send your way, and you can check that out to see if you think it might be a good fit. Also, the dailymentorcalls.com is a really, really great way to find some super deep details. I and all of my team members who are connected with me have all been through these daily mentor calls and find them super, super informative and just really make you feel like you're ready to do all the things. We also have another mentor who will also jump on the phone with us to do a 3-way as well. So sometimes you just suddenly know that it's time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings. So if this is what's going on for you right now, I hope you'll let us know. Okay, my darling friends, don't forget to fill out the Google form if you guys haven't done that yet. And the link is going to be in the YouTube thing. I'll also put it in the Facebook group, which actually I don't think I've told you guys about the enamel retention. No, I did. I mentioned it in the beginning. All right, and here is the code word. I'm such a turkey for putting it at the last, right? So the code word is party time, right? Party time is the code word. So go ahead and put party time in the thing if you guys have to do the Google form. All right, darling friends, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I wish you all a very festive day. And just know also that I'm going to make this my last thing. The full moon really does bring with it a lot of interesting energies. So be aware tonight that you may not feel your best. Sometimes full moons might give you a headache, might make you just kind of feel like a little low, like a little extra inflammation. So if that's something that you guys are going through, here's 2 things I'm going to recommend for you to support you. Number 1, try a little melaleuca. I would put it like over like the area between your eyes and over your heart. I know that sounds like a weird one, especially if you're thinking that you're dealing with like headache or something like that. But it really, really works because a lot of it has to do with some of that weird, like the energies of how like the gravitational pull on the earth and things like that work. And this just really seems to cut through some of those extra weird things. And then the second one is black spruce, which I left in the other room. But black spruce is also really, really amazing for helping us kind of get centered in terms of seeing around issues that may be coming up because of, you know, full moon type things. And also don't forget that we have the I'm blanking out, holiday items, and those will start to be available on November the 2nd. So keep an eye out for some of those too. Many of them will go fast. So be on the lookout for getting your order in kind of early. All right, there we are finished. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day and feel all the love. Bye.